Sometimes the hardest walls to break down aren't made of stone. They're built from misunderstanding and quiet disappointment. But in those moments, Christ invites us to something deeper, a love that listens, adapts, and heals. My name is Grace, and this is my story. If you had seen us from the outside, you might have thought we had the perfect marriage. Church on Sundays, polite smiles at potlucks, the occasional handhold in the parking lot. But at home, beneath the surface, we spoke different languages, sometimes quite literally, but mostly in the ways we gave and received love. I grew up in a family where affection was shown in words. My parents wrote notes, left voicemails, spoke encouragement over every struggle. In our home, a kind word felt like a warm embrace. When I married Daniel, I assumed that speaking love meant saying it out loud, over and over again. Daniel, on the other hand, was raised in a home of action. His father fixed things. His mother ironed shirts and delivered cookies to neighbors. They didn't say, "I love you," much. They showed it by serving, by practical deeds. For Daniel, a fixed leaky faucet meant, "I care." In our first year of marriage, I waited for words that didn't come. Meanwhile, Daniel worked quietly around the house, hoping I'd notice the freshly mowed lawn or the new shelf he'd built. I saw chores, he saw love. Slowly, resentment crept in on both sides, but I didn't know what would happen next. It all came to a head one winter night. I remember sitting across from Daniel at our kitchen table, fighting tears. I had just poured my heart into a letter for our anniversary, and he had smiled and thanked me, and then gone right out to the garage to replace my car's oil. I felt invisible. He felt unappreciated. The silence between us was thick. One evening, we joined a young couples group at church. Our leader handed us a book about the 5 love languages. I rolled my eyes at first. Weren't we just supposed to love each other the way Jesus commands? But something about those 5 simple categories, words, acts of service, gifts, quality time, physical touch, stuck in my mind. That week, Daniel and I took the quiz together. It felt silly at first, but when we compared answers, everything clicked. My primary language was words of affirmation, his, acts of service. Suddenly, years of confusion made sense, but learning about our love languages didn't fix everything overnight. In fact, it opened up new challenges. How do you speak a language that doesn't come naturally? I remember the first time I tried serving Daniel in his own language. I spent an afternoon organizing his workshop, even though I didn't know the difference between a socket wrench and a screwdriver. He noticed right away. His eyes lit up, and for the first time, I saw him feel truly loved by me. Daniel, in turn, began leaving me notes. They were awkward at first, short to the point. But every scribbled, "I'm proud of you," or "thank you for dinner," was like rain on dry ground. I saved everyone. There were setbacks, of course. Old habits die hard. Sometimes Daniel still retreated into work when he was stressed, and I still ached for words when we argued. But instead of letting those moments divide us, we learned how to come back to the table, to ask, "How can I show you I love you today?" One night, after a long week, Daniel sat beside me on the porch. The air was cool, the world quiet. He turned to me and said, "I may not always say it right, but I love you." That simple sentence felt like a miracle. I realized that when Paul says, "Love is patient, love is kind," it does not insist on its own way. He's describing a love that bends toward the other, a love that humbles itself and learns. Another verse guided us through those years. "Bear with one another and forgive each other, as the Lord has forgiven you." We realized that the little things, missed words, forgotten acts, were opportunities for grace, not grudges. But there was a deeper change too. As we learned to speak each other's language, we started praying together, not just for ourselves, but for the kind of marriage that would reflect Christ's patient, sacrificial love. We stopped keeping score. Slowly, our home became a place of gentleness instead of quiet tension. Every journey has its valleys. There were seasons when job stress, family illness, or financial strain made us forget what we'd learned. But God was faithful. In moments when we lost our way, we returned to the basics: prayer, listening, serving, affirming, and always asking for God's help to love beyond our own capacity. At church, friends began to notice. "You two seem closer," a friend remarked one Sunday. It wasn't a magic formula, just the slow, steady work of learning and loving day by day. Looking back, I see how Christ met us in our differences. He didn't erase them, He redeemed them. Our love story didn't change overnight, but it deepened. We learned that love is not just a feeling, but a decision, a daily choice to speak the other's language, even when it's awkward or costly. If you're listening and you feel unseen in your marriage, or frustrated by your spouse's way of loving you, know that you're not alone. God delights in unity, but He also works through difference. As Jesus said, "Love one another as I have loved you." His love is our example, our motivation, and our strength. Love isn't about finding someone who loves like you do. It's about becoming someone who loves like Christ. If you're willing, invite Him into your marriage. Ask Him to teach you to see, to listen, to serve, not just in your own language, but in the language your spouse most needs to hear.